Hi everyone, on this week's video I'll be showing you my latest new additions to my Tiki bar and exotic garden. I'll also be giving you a tour around my exotic garden now that we have maximum growth in the middle of September, and please subscribe to my channel. So first up I'll show you my latest new additions to my Tiki bar. Firstly with my amazing new sign which I bought on holiday. I couldn't believe it when I saw this for sale. I thought this is just exactly what I needed to put on the front. I love the colours and I love the frangipanis on there too, and the bright yellow really stands out. Obviously a Tiki bar sign should be full of colour, and it certainly is, and it looks great on the bamboo and with the Thai plants from Polynesia in front of it, which looks absolutely superb. So I'm really happy with that. You might have spotted the Tiki masks on there too. So I've got this one here which I picked up from a second-hand shop on holiday. I like those mother of pearl eyes, they really glow in the evening as well. And on the other side I have another mask here, again from a second-hand shop on holiday. It's quite small, this one, but it's just a perfect size here. It allows me to squeeze down the side. It's absolutely spot on. I've also got a purple glass float, which is an unusual colour, and it makes a change from the other colours that I've got here, such as the blue and also the red. I've also got a boomerang from a second-hand shop again, which obviously originally from Australia, so I thought that's really cool. And also I've got a dancing mermaid. Unfortunately she's not working, but she is still pride of place on the front, and she's obviously joining my Hawaiian girl, which obviously does work. I thought it'd be really good to have a look inside the bar and look outwards. It's quite empty at the moment because rain's forecast for tomorrow, so I've cleared a lot out, but there's a few bits and pieces left which I need to take in. These are additions that you can add to beers and other drinks from America. Things that we don't really see much in the UK. So there's beer salt there with different different flavours, which you mix in with other drinks. So lime and chilli, as you can see, and mango, chilli, lemon and lime. I think it would be just nice to just show you what my garden looks like from inside here. I think the bar really frames the garden from inside, and you can see the maximum growth that we've got now this time of the year in September. So it's a really cool view here, I think. So you can see some new additions just outside actually, so I'll show you my new plant additions. So I've got 4 plants here which are new, which I got on holiday. So first of all I got this here, a Carpobritus edulis, or the Hottentot fig. It's a succulent with pink or purple flowers. This one has purple flowers. And I got this from Aphilus Plants. And next up is a elephant seer. This is one of the hardest elephant seers. Goalensis, I think it is, or something like that. I can never pronounce it. And with a mulch, this can take temperatures down to, I've heard, -9, -10 perhaps. But you can see it's got lovely markings trying to come through. But you can see the red dot, which is used to actually help identify this species. You can see this new leaf here because it's had more sun. You can see the lovely coloration coming through on that too. and this I got from Plant Base in Sussex. Also from Plant Base I got this fantastic Thalia geniculata, which is quite rare in the UK. It's a tropical marginal water plant. It has this fantastic red stem, and the most common one in the UK is the hardy Thalia dealbata. This one, as I say, is tender. I'll have to bring this inside for the winter time. I'll probably put it in my utility room for the winter. It usually gets down to about 7 degrees. I'm hoping to be fine in there. Obviously these do flower, but they really are grown for this fantastic foliage, very upright arrow-like foliage, which is a good contrast with other plants, and also for the fantastic red stem. So they do need a lot of water, and you can stand them in a saucer of water, of course, or on plant them in a pond edge. And finally, from Aphilus Plants again, I've got the golden Lotus banana, Musella Laciocarpa, and it has it's quite a squat or small growing, short growing banana. Again, they say it's fairly hardy. I'm not going to risk it outside, obviously, for the winter. Again, I'll put it in my conservatory or utility room for the winter, and it has a fantastic bright yellow inflorescence or collection of flowers in the shape of a lotus. And yeah, so it's another one to my banana collection. I've got quite a few now. So I think next I'll show you, give you a tour really of the garden, now that we've got maximum growth in the middle of September. And of course it's officially autumn from next week, so let's have a look round. So there's a beautiful mandevilla here, which is normally grown as a house plant or conservatory plant, but it does really well outside for the summer in the UK. And this one's got the gorgeous red flowers, as you can see. Red is my personal favourite colour in flowers, especially if you've got a bit of yellow on, which this has actually. It's got some yellow in the throat. It's difficult to pick up in this light today, but it is there. And this I put in my utility room for the winter. It's not hardy. Got Musa, Enseti ventricosum, large leaved form with the red midrib. I grew this from seed. Last year I sowed the seed. I'll plant it, it's in the pot this year, but I'll plant it out next year to get maximum growth. The alternamphora here has grown really well. It's a lovely contrast with the agave attenuata. My hibiscus mostuatus has grown loads this year. It's slopping over slightly, so I've just stood it up, and that is 4.5, 5 feet tall, 1.2, over 1.2 metres. But unfortunately, it's aborting its flowers, so it hasn't flowered for me this year. There's always next year, of course. Some pelargoniums still in flower there, as you can see, and the last flowers on the bougainvillea and lantana. The Trachelospermum jasminoides is already coloured up for the winter already. So just by the shorter day length now, that's initiated the winter colouring, obviously going from green to bright red. So a fantastic plant for the winter, obviously a climber with scented flowers in the summer. Another fantastic climber, which I've been training up these moss poles, is Campsis, and my Madame Galen has actually flowered for the first time. I didn't expect flowers on it this year, but I'm hoping I'll have many more next year. And these are from Campsis. Some Campsis are from North America in the wild, some are from China, and this is a cross between radicans in North America and on the other one, Tabli something or other, I can't remember the name, from China. To make the cross, absolutely stunning. It's in the Bignoniaceae family, a tropical family. Obviously pollinated by hummingbirds in the wild. So yeah, really happy, and I'm looking forward to lots of flowers on those next year. I've got a tender shrub, Cestrum nocturnum, in the Solanaceae family, related to potatoes and tomatoes. The flowers are closed up during the day, but you can see there's just one which is still open. They're tiny green yellow flowers, but they're highly scented at night. And what I like to do, I like to grow it in a pot so I can obviously bring it in for the winter because it's tender, but it also means I can put it in the conservatory or the house at night and the scent goes through the whole house. It's incredible. Really easy from cuttings too. So an avocado there, and many other things crammed in as usual. So the brahia palm that you've all seen now many times in my videos. Quite hardy here in the UK. My Hedychium gardnerianum has had one inflorescence. As you can see, it's going over now, but luckily I've got at least two more. So you can see this one's just starting to come out now, and then there's one behind that. So that will give me colour until October. That's a fantastic thing about exotic gardens. You get so much late summer and early autumn colour, which is great. And for the first time ever, after 7 years of growing it, my Hedychium maximum, the giant ginger lily, has been flowering. That's just the one flower, but I've had many on them over the past few weeks, and there's another spike there. And I found the key with this one, it needs a lot of heat, so I keep it in my conservatory till August, until the flower buds have been produced, and then I put it outside so that the flowers last longer with the coolness of late summer in the UK. So I've got Musa dwarf Cavendish. It needs a repot for next year. It hasn't really grown that much this year, so definitely need to give it a repot. And this fantastic colocasia here with the black leaves, and this is called coal miner. Beautiful bromeliads, the neorigelias there, and the Musa arunchalensis. Obviously I'll have to bring that inside soon, but ish over the next few weeks. So really I am thinking about obviously having to get the plants in soon. So unfortunately for the winter time, but I normally do it in the third week in October, so I've got about a month to go. So the Echmea blanchettiana, Washingtonia palm, and you can just look across the garden now and see that maximum growth. So lots of bananas there, salvias, russ, mountain pawpaw or Vasconcelia, and acacia. So those are some of the biggest plants that I have, as well as this Butea palm, of course, Butea odorata. Looks gorgeous with this sunlight filtering through it, as does the Inseti morellii. Just sort of glows, doesn't it, with that sun coming through. Absolutely stunning. So you see my Tiki bar, of course, and my new additions, Cycas revoluta, and my Inseti Montbelliardii now is huge. This is only the second year that I've had it, and it's much taller than me now. So I'll measure that up in a second. Cordyline pink passion and bromeliads there, Tradescantia pallida purple heart, and Roea discolor. Looks great next to the Howea palm, or Kentia palm. Howea Forsteriana. So back to the Enseti Montbelliardii. So I'm stood next to it now and it's towering above me. I would say that's 9 feet tall now, so about 2.7 metres in height to its tallest leaf up there. Of course, if you saw my videos from last October when I brought my Ensetis in, I cut all the leaves off, back to the stem, tip it upside down to drain the water out, which is the most important thing to do for the winter before potting into dry compost and just big enough to take the root ball and overwinter in a frost-free place. So I'll do that obviously this October, and next year I wouldn't be surprised if it reaches 4 metres, maybe even 5. Who knows, we'll have to see. Watch my videos next summer. So dahlias here, the hardy, for me anyway, Bishop of Llandaff. One of my favourites, with that almost black foliage and the red flowers. The bees love them, of course. My Dahlia Canora Sunset has done too well this year. It's flopped several times. I've had to stake it 2 or 3 times already, and I need to stake it again now. A lot of heavy growth, the amount of flowers on it, as you can see, it's done really well. It's obviously a cacti type flowered dahlia. Now my Sonchus, or one of my Sonchus I should say, has flowered for the first time. In fact, it's the first time I have a tree dandelion in flower. I can't get to the label at the moment because to see which one it is. So because of the maximum growth that we have, I think this one is Palmensis. So I will check that when I can get in there. And you can see the hoverflies and the bees absolutely love those yellow flowers, which is great. Really important food plant for this time of the year for them. So a bee on my Dahlia Bishop of Llandaff. And the Musa Basju, which I obviously covered up for the winter last October in a video, has done really well now. And this now is just taller than me with this new leaf here. So last week I think it was, we had 3 days of 29 degrees centigrade, 84 Fahrenheit. Overall we've had quite a cool summer in the UK. We've just a couple of hot spells, but this latest one has really encouraged the bananas to push out some more growth before the autumn comes. And obviously I will wrap this up again for the winter months. Obviously I want to keep the height on this banana so it will flower and fruit maybe next year or the year after. So yeah, it's catching up with the Enseti Montbelliardii, but Ensetis for me are much faster growing than Musa. This is Musa Helen's hybrid. Again, this is pushing out a new leaf. Gorgeous red undersides, and obviously the top will be green. You can see behind this my Hedychium Assam Orange, which is a hardy perennial here, has flowered its socks off. It's got huge this year. We'll have to split it. It's had many flowers on it, and this is about 2 meters square easily, or 6 foot square. Enseti Morellii, with those gorgeous red, purples and green colorations, and it looks fantastic in this low late summer light. Next to Alstroemeria Indian Summer. I've got Hedychium Tara here in flower, but unfortunately the flower bud point got damaged somehow. Looks like it rotted actually in the amount of rain that we had at some point, but you can see it's still flowering with those lovely orange ginger flowers, and this is hardy for me here. And the Acacia Dilbata Alpina, which I pruned back in April in my video, along with the Eucalyptus gunnii, have grown back nicely now, as you can see. I know a few of you were quite nervous for me about pruning that back, but I do it every year and it's well worth it because you get all that lovely new foliage and it just stops it from getting absolutely enormous. So even though I pruned this back in April, it's at least 10 feet tall now, 3 meters, maybe a bit more. If I didn't prune them, they would get absolutely huge and I wouldn't be able to deal with them. So, and of course they're evergreen, great for the winter. And as you've seen in my video last January, the acacia flowers then, January and February time, in the coldest time of the year, which is incredible with its bright yellow flowers. So, some early autumn colour, the hardy Euonymus alatus compactus. It is native to the UK, called the spindle tree. And you can see these reds or coral pink leaves, absolutely stunning, one of my favourite autumn coloured plants, and I think it looks great next to the hardy Salvia involucrata with the bright pink flowers next to the glaucous leaves of Bescorneria euchioides. And you can see now just how big this salvia has got. It's huge. In flower now, I would say it's 3 or 4 meters squared. It's incredible. And I cut that back right to the ground anyway in the spring. Usually the winter frost does that anyway, but it always bounces back even without a mulch. And the bees again absolutely love those flowers. There's so many buzzing around at the moment. And see the amount of pollen that they're getting on the legs, which is great. It sort of clashes with the Heleniums, but I love that combination. It's a bit of a Christopher Lloyd combination going on there, who did like to shock with colour. So the yellow and orange with the pink shouldn't really work, but in fact I think it does just about. So you can see the maximum growth we've got here now, with the hardy pawpaw behind, Trachycarpus wagnerianus, the umbrella plant, the Schefflera, which I'll bring in for the winter, the Russ and the Trachycarpus behind. The Trachycarpus, obviously I bought that last Easter and posted the video on that when I planted it. And you can just see the absolute maximum growth. Rudbeckias on the left, Rudbeckia Goldsturm. So you can just about see my shed poking out at the top. If I'll just show you around on the other side. See the dahlias that I need to stake, get them off the grass. But yeah, maximum growth, absolutely superb. Hard to believe in just, you know, a month or two. You know, most of it will be inside for the winter. Lovely grass there, so that's Panicum Northwind, that will go orange next month, completely hardy. Circist Forest Pansy with a heart-shaped red and purple leaves, obviously a hardy shrub, looks stunning with the sun shining through in this light, and it's a great contrast to the Russ Tiger Eyes behind, which is going to be absolutely incredible next month for the autumn colour. This is the biggest it's grown. It's put on so much growth this year, I think because of the amount of rain we had earlier on in the year, and this obviously is completely hardy. I will have to prune it next year so that I can retain some of the height, but I can actually get down the path easier, because you can see here my pathway now is very narrow with this jungle growth, which is absolutely fantastic, of course. Elephantsia Colocasia fontanesii. It's flowered and it's been set in seed here. See a new flower spike coming up here. There's purple black stems and midribs under the leaf. Fantastic Elephantsia, and it's fairly hardy actually. It's one of the hardier ones, although I do keep it inside for the winter usually. And you can see the stolons, or the stems that spread outwards. This is how it spreads in the wild. And obviously you can propagate it that way. So it's trying to go across the pathway. So the last of the heleniums here. Musella and the Scheffler Taiwaniana. Put on loads of growth this year. Impatiens tinctoria, which is hardy for me. And a Tithonia, which grew from seed in May, early May. Ginger lily, Hedicium foresti, I think it is. I find this one hardy for me. Lovely combination there, the orange and creamy white. And of course next to my T-Rex, it's absolutely huge now. Hardy for me, Tetrapanax papyrifera rex. Sort of hiding many other plants at the moment, including these Sarracenias. You can see how big it's got in the centre. Whether it will keep that growth for the winter, we'll have to see, but if the worst happened, it was cut down to the ground in a severe winter, it would bounce back from the roots. But hopefully we'll have a mild one so I can retain the height. Cordyline, red star, with Asplenium nidus, which I'll bring in for the winter. And Miscanthus fruigerus, which is really tall now, about 9 feet tall. And the flowers of the Begonia luxurians, which is about 7 feet tall. Some ferns here, Cyaphias and Woodwardia. Begonia rex. That one's called Fireworks, which I'll bring in obviously along with these ones. Bring those in next month into my living room. And some ferns, some Podophyllum spottidotti, and bromeliads. Nephilepis, which I'll bring in, along as also the Platycerium, which is growing a lovely new plate here, as you can see, which helps to glue it onto the bark. Looking really good now. Trachycarpus has put out a lot of new leaves this year. Of course, that was new for my garden back in April. Easily 10 feet tall. Muschia wollastonii in the Campanulaceae family should flower for me next year. This is a red flowered form. Purple bronzes leaves are looking great. Begonia masoniorum next to the fantastic Bilbergia crosswindii with its pink, green, yellow and blue flowers. Absolutely stunning bromeliad. It's great grown in a hanging basket actually for that reason, with those pendulous flowers. And then finally my Solidago Fireworks, which is hardy again, covered with thousands upon thousands of tiny bright yellow flowers, much loved by insects. And it certainly does give a firework light display. So this is a view from the bottom of the garden looking back up to the house. And I'm sure you'll agree, it's a pretty jungly outlook. That's it for this week everybody. Hope you enjoyed my video. please don't forget to give me the thumbs up or comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't already. And thanks for watching. See ya, bye.